You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry ChillyBoy Chilson, and we are live with what we're going to be calling the live series from now on, Chillin' with ChillyBoy. And tonight we have several topics we're going to go over, plus just kind of a free chat about film. So, I hope you all are excited to chill with me on this Thursday night. And I am certainly excited to chill and talk with y'all. So let me go ahead, get this out here on Instagram and say, or Instagram and Twitter, I guess, and see how the folks are doing. Hi, Art. Thanks so much for dropping in again tonight. So, this segment is just me. Tyler comes on for the sports lives on Wednesdays. And then if I go live like this, it's just going to be me. I'm going to be chatting it up with y'all and talking about film. So, let me go ahead and get this posted. Sorry about that. Hope y'all are doing good on this Thursday night. If you're here with me, that does mean, though, well, I guess if you're on the East Coast, you could just be getting back. But if you're here, that means you're not seeing Last Night in Soho, which also means I'm not seeing Last Night in Soho. So, yeah, I'm seeing that tomorrow. I'm also seeing Antlers tomorrow. Don't know if I'll review them here, so make sure you're following my Letterboxd if you want my full thoughts on those films. Hello, Network 98. Possibly near the end. I certainly want to get through all of the topics first. And then I'll see if guests are a thing I want to do here, or if I want to just keep it like a conversation between me and my chat. I'm not really too sure what directions I like to go with. All right. So let me go ahead. Sorry, I'm so distracted. Join me. All right, I'm just gonna post that and be done with it. So first up tonight, I did want to do my first ever live movie review. So I've never done reviews live before. They've always been pre-recorded. But I did get to view Army of Thieves. Thank you to Netflix, obviously, for sending it on over to me a little bit early to view. I was contemplating if I wanted to go ahead and just react to Army of Thieves or review it. So it took me a minute to get there. But ultimately, I decided I would just give this format a try. Sorry, I'm like such a hot mess today. Lord, maybe they don't want me to go live. Okay, so Army of Thieves is a 2021 action thriller that is a prequel to Army of the Dead. And ultimately, that's a little bit of why I decided not to react. I haven't watched Army of Dead yet. I know I'm horrible. But in the end, even having not seen Army of the Dead, Army of Thieves was fine. I think it's okay. It's good for what it is. It is very aware of the film it's trying to be. And it plays into that. I think the action and what's happening on screen is fun. A lot of the chemistry between our cast actually works quite well. And specifically, I thought Nathalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones was the highlight. I thought she was fantastic, and I want to follow her character to other heists. I do also think Matthias Schogerfer. I'm so sorry, Matthias. I also think he was quite charming, and they had nice chemistry together. However, it ran too long. It is over 2 hours long. There's not enough story. This story is not enough to warrant an over 2 hour long runtime. And the problem for me was there's not boring things happening on set. We do deal a lot with unlocking locks or like little personal dramas, but I found it difficult. Even though the two characters I mentioned are enjoyable, I found it difficult to really invest myself into the characters. And when I'm not invested in the characters and I'm not really invested in their mission, I did find myself to get a tad bored. So overall, I think Army of Thieves was okay. I'm sure if you liked Army of the Dead, you'll probably want to check this out this weekend. It's not certainly the worst film I've seen by a long shot. Certainly not even the worst thing that Netflix has ever put out. But I'm not saying you need to chill in, rush to your computer screen at midnight when Netflix drops this puppy tonight. Catch it when you can, if you can. And if you somehow miss it, well, I don't think you're going to be all the worse for it. Hello, Dimination. Thanks for dropping in. Yay. You got your top 10 favorite films of all time list? I don't. So today actually is International Animation Day. Yay! So I did the series here on the channel of my top 50 favorite animated films of all time because I struggle so hard between animation and live action. I love the medium of animation. And I planned to follow that up with my top 50 favorite live action films of all time. It hasn't happened yet, clearly. But it is something I still want to do. I want to do a lot of things and clearly don't do them. So, but check out my animated list if you want to see the animated films that made that top 10. And then hopefully soon I have the Denver Film Festival and stuff coming up. So it's going to be a wild ride here shortly. But yeah. What am I doing this Halloween? What are your favorite scary movies to watch in October? This Halloween, I do have a Comic Con that I'm going to the Denver Fan Expo on Saturday. I'm going to get my picture with Zachary Quinto from Heroes and from Star Trek, one of the big openly gay actors out there that continues to get some kind of work. So and scary movies I love to watch in October. I usually want to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. I always watch Scream. The Exorcist is my favorite. I don't necessarily watch it every year, but yeah. I don't care about Army of Dead, so you're fine with me. Yeah. Sorry. Snyder fans, I know you're not happy with me because I have not watched Army of Dead, and I also have not watched Zack Snyder's Justice League. I know, I'm terrible. I'm excited for Texas Chainsaw on Netflix. I don't really know much about it, if I'm being honest. So I would have to look more into what's going on with that Texas Chainsaw. I knew that there was something Texas Chainsaw coming up, but I thought I saw that it got canceled or it wasn't moving forward or heavily delayed. So Spirited Away is the best international animated film. Oh, it's not quite my personal favorite Ghibli, but it's up there. Well, moving along to our next sort of mini movie review, I was asked and given a screening link thanks to one of the people I know on Twitter who goes by Robbie Walsh of his film titled The Letters. He is the director of the film. If you are in Ireland, if you're out there and you're Irish or you can get to Ireland fairly easy, go ahead and make sure to check out The Letters. Look it up. It is releasing into Irish cinemas, at least limited. It is an independent film, but it follows the cervical cancer scandal that happened in Ireland over the past decade. And some women were misdiagnosed, and ultimately it led to them being too far gone in the cancer process to get proper treatment to fight that, which is obviously terrible. And I had no idea about the government and the health system's involvement in that. It is a really solid film. It's not one to watch just on a whim. It's quite heavy, but I think it, especially for, you know, a small budget independent film, it's worth the watch, certainly. So if you are in Ireland, give it a go. take a look, see if you can find it. Hi, Hannah. Thanks for dropping in. Who have you talked to about Halloween Kills? Are you a Halloween fanatic? So I did a reaction to Halloween Kills right here on the channel. Halloween Kills I thought was fun enough. Actually, I have to admit, it's so batshit crazy that the further we've gone along with all this, the more I kind of find myself, maybe ironically, liking the absolute madness that is Halloween Kills. I really liked the 2018 Halloween, though. I know that has a lot of mixed reviews, but I enjoy it. I love the 1978 Halloween. I think it is a fantastic film. So, I don't know about a fanatic. I've seen all of them at some point in my life. Some of them I have never cared to revisit, though. So it's not my favorite of the slashers. Well, Scream is my favorite slasher series overall as a whole. I think that's the one that all three of them are solid. All right, so Network 98 asked a question that leads me into the next topic on our discussion, because it's been the topic of my Twitter left, right, and center. It's nuts. So he says, Larry, do you think Eternals will go up or down? So if you didn't see, I have already posted my review for Eternals. Thank you to Geekly Goods Leo for bringing me along to the screening here in Denver. Thanks to that, I did get to see the film early. I saw it on Monday night, got my review up, and I loved it. Spoiler alert. Go watch the review to hear all the reasons why. But I personally loved Eternals. It currently is in my top 5 favorite films of 2021. And yeah, I adored it. So to see how not only divisive the film has been, but how kind of grimy and toxic the discussion around Eternals has been since the scores have been coming in is really disappointing. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons. This is the first female of color to direct an MCU film, one of the few people of color, period, to direct an MCU film. Obviously, this cast is insanely diverse from a racial and community and ethnicity standpoint, cultural standpoint. We've got all the colors of the rainbow there. Speaking of rainbows, we have our first LGBTQ plus hero in the MCU. We have our first deaf hero in the MCU. So there's just so many great things there that even if people don't enjoy the film, I wish we could have steered clear of how toxic the discussion has gotten. And it was like that. It instantly turned into this really toxic, gross discussion. And I'm seeing in reviews really nonsensical stuff like Salma Hayek not being she's too Salma Hayek or not Salma Hayek-y enough, which I don't know what that is. Honestly, I think my interpretation of what he said in his review was, I wanted loud, angry Mexican woman cursing out the people in Spanish. No, 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 no. That's not the character, sir. And Salma Hayek's a great actress, and I wish people would stop kind of relegating her and trying to pigeonhole her into this just over the top Mexican comedian. I've seen other reviews talking, or Twitter people talking about her accent and how that really took away from the film, which is outrageous. There's been a lot of really negative looking things to be said. IMBD is seeing people bomb review the film without even seeing it because of the queer couple that's involved. So they're downvoting it to 1 star to try to tank that ranking as it's coming out. So it's interesting. Now, I understand if you don't like the film, that's whatever. I don't necessarily agree. And I think that in a lot of ways, Eternals is being held to a bit of a different standard for people than other Marvel films have, whether it be the screenplay and the script, because let's be very honest and very clear, there have been a lot of messy screenplays that have come through the MCU, and they have not received this type of madness before release. Whether it be, the runtime and it was too slow, that's your opinion. But if we're talking about pacing issues and convoluted plots, there are other MCU films, once again, that have had pacing issues, that have had convoluted plots, character stuff, the other team up builds. What do we get so character driven about, Rocket Raccoon or any of the Guardians, honestly, outside of Star-Lord, especially in that first Guardians film? So I also see contradictions, such as people, every time a new Marvel movie's released, they're screaming, "We're sick of the formula. We're sick of all these jokes all the time. We're sick of Marvel just churning out the same ugly film that doesn't have good cinematography." And then we get a film that breaks the Marvel formula. It doesn't go play by play. It steers clear of doing that exact Marvel humor and action. And then I look at reviews and they're saying, "We missed the humor. It doesn't have enough action, blah, blah, blah." So it's just disappointing how the discussion has went. So I am thoroughly disappointed that Eternals is now officially the lowest rated film in terms of aggregate score on the tomato meter. It currently sits at 62%, which is lower than Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2, which we want to talk about bad scripts. I'm looking at you, Iron Man 2. Is in the 70s. And once again, people, I know what Rotten Tomatoes is. I know how an aggregate website works. Don't try to like talk down to me about that. I hate that crap. We know how Rotten Tomatoes works, y'all. Like, stop. But to answer your question about whether I think it will go up or down, I think it's been going down. It debuted in like the low 70s and now it's down to 62. It's eerily close to becoming the first Marvel film to be certified rotten, which would be a huge bummer and really disappointing, but it is what it is, I guess. I love it. I'm championing the film. I'll continue to champion the film because of what I've seen and that toxic environment that was created, this really weird vitriol that seemed to be seeping. And it's not weird because we know why. Another point of contention was the fact that when you look at Rotten Tomatoes or you look over these reviews, even on social media, I noticed it immediately on social media, the critics who were coming on to post their reactions and their reviews to social media, or the critics that had just come out of the film, the white critics heavily were the majority of the negative reviews, and most critics of color, people of color who were coming out to review and react to the film, were positive on the film. This is one of the deepest divides in terms of white critics having an opinion versus colors or critics of color having the opposite reaction. Of course, there's outliers. We're never talking about people as a monolith here, but it is what it is. I've seen people commented in my review. I've seen people commented about on Twitter. So I'm not the only one who saw that. It's been pretty clear. So let's see what y'all talk about. Tyler says the streets are saying Barry Keoghan was his favorite part of Eternals. Art says your Halloween Kills reaction is the reason I subscribed, and you haven't disappointed me since. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciated that. I really had a lot of fun with that reaction to Halloween Kills. I also had a lot of fun reacting to the 1984 Dune. So check that one out because I think it's one of my funniest reactions personally. I'm gonna see Eternals on VOD because I'm afraid I'll be disappointed, and that's totally valid. Of course, we're still dealing with health crisis. So if you're not comfortable going to a theater, whether it be people saying you have to see this on a big screen or whatever, no, you have to do what's right for you, your family situation, your financial situation, whatever the case is. Do what's right for you. Hi, OP Talks. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate you watching here tonight. Thor: The Dark World is without question the worst MCU film. Well, now, thanks to the percentages on Rotten Tomatoes, Eternals has taken that claim on RT. No idea how Eternals. I really don't get it either. OP Talks. I mean, even if you didn't like the film, we'll see the rain. Of course, including me, I was going to hold off on doing my MCU ranking until I got to Spider-Man No Way Home. But after all the madness, I just said, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and do my ranking now after Eternals because I'm on this train, damn it. So so be looking out for my ranking, but I'm sure lots of other YouTubers are going to be doing their ranking too. I'm sure a lot of people will have it pretty low on their ranking, but I'll be stunned if people have it like legitimately last. So was that you on the stream last night or a different Tyler? Eternals has been my most anticipated Marvel movie ever, and I'm so sad to see it get bombed. But a lot of critics I watch have praised it and keeps me happy. Yeah. So again, I praised it. I loved it. So there you go. It's not gonna go down because I doubt it will go down as the worst. Oh, I hope not. I hope not. Do it after No Way Home. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an MCU ranking like next week. I'll drop it. And then I'll do like, what are they calling it? Sputnik SP, whatever the hell it is. Spider-Man universe with Sony. Spider-Man ranking after No Way Home, including Venom, Venom 2, Into the Spider-Verse, plus all the old Raimi films and the Andrew Garfield films. So I'm going to do a Spider-Man movie ranking, I think, after No Way Home. But yes, you know, at the end of the day, we always say it. People are crying about it on Twitter too. Just see Eternals for yourself. If you're excited to see Eternals and you have wanted to watch the film, if it is your most anticipated Marvel movie ever, as you said, or period, then go watch it and let your own opinion be formed on whether you think the hate was deserved, if you think it is better than you now expected. But yeah, do every Marvel movie, non-MCU and MCU movie ranked. Oh my. I that's a lot. There's some Marvel movies I have not watched, I believe, some earlier ones. So we'll see. OP Talks, I did. It was kind of my opening subject was Army of Thieves. And I did. I enjoyed it. I think it was a little bit long and it dragged a little bit at parts for me, but I loved our two leads. Particularly, I am a Natalie Emmanuel like little fanboy, so I loved her in that movie. And honestly, I was most interested in her character and want like a little spin-off movie with her doing some things. But I liked our lead character a lot as well. I thought he was fun. So yeah. All right. Well, we then have the other film. Again, I guess we'll just tie this right into Eternals because I guess they're both big sci-fi type of blockbuster movies. But of course, the Twitter discourse has gone like Eternals versus Dune. Woo! But don't compare. They don't need to be compared either. But we were all happy and united for just one single day this week because Dune Part 2 was announced. Yes, we did it, y'all. We won. Denis Supremacy Ray. Obviously I was hyped. If you watch my 2021 Dune reaction, you'll see I really enjoyed the film. I watched it in freaking Dolby afterwards and I loved it even more. And I'm so excited for Dune Part 2. Tyler, I mean, maybe I have to now. But Dune Part 2, and then Denis came forward and says he wants to do a third one. This novel series, y'all, is very long. So we could just be like doing Dune 200. It's very long, it's very dense, so there's so much material to be explored. Rebecca Ferguson said she would be on for the spinoff if they filmed it when she's available in 2023. But I'm just hyped for June. It would have been such a bummer, I think, if we left off and didn't get that second part. I mean, the people would be rioting in the street. Come on now. Hi, movie guy 2001. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, we have you seen the Lightyear yet though? Yeah, I did see the Lightyear little teaser trailer first look that they released. I'm interested. It looked a lot like First Man animated to me. So we'll see. But it looks good. I mean, the animation is stunning, but it's Pixar. What are we to expect here? And yeah, it's an interesting concept, and I loved seeing how excited Chris Evans is for the role. So that makes me more excited too. I think Pixar hopefully will have a good twofer next year in what they're bringing to the table. Oh, somebody mentioned it. The Dune series and how it goes so much more in depth than what the 1984 David Lynch film. Have y'all seen the Lynch film? Did you actually watch the 84 film? Let me know if you have. Put that in the chat. Let me know what you thought. Is it like so crazy that you kind of love it, or are you like no? This is madness. It was something. It sure was something. I'll say that. I mean, Sting was having fun. He looked pretty good. He was in good shape, I guess. But I do like seeing Kyle come forward and support Timothy Chalamet. But also, y'all cut it out. This is I know Twitter is always a mess, but Twitter's been in rare form this week. We're going to address body issues, period, all the way around, because at the beginning of this week, the whole conversation around Dune was positive. It was great. You know, it was the high praise we expected for Denis. And then it turned into, I can't buy Timothy Chalamet as the lead in an epic, in a big sci-fi action film. Timothy is not a lead action person. First of all, I don't know that I would classify Dune as an action film. Not that part one. I mean, there are some moments. It's a sci-fi, yes. But second of all, this is one that's the character. It just is what it is. It's what he's meant to be. He's not supposed to be Chris Hemsworth. So chill. Two, though, we have to stop body shaming people. Like, he's fine. He looks great. He acted the role beautifully well. And he's fine. He can play skinny men can play leads in action movies. Particularly in sci-fi, actually, where science fiction or fantasy, where you have all of these outside factors that work to make you powerful or the chosen one. It's so ridiculous. But on the flip side, then we have an infamous female YouTuber. I'll leave it at that this time. I have a video all about her on my channel because she says lots of ignorant things. Coming forward and in her actual review of Eternals, accuse Kumail Nanjiani of taking steroids to get into the shape he was for Eternals. And that's insane, first of all. Why she found it appropriate to mention that in her review and say it distracted her from the film. I mean, without any proof. There's no proof that Kumail took any sort of performance enhancers. And if he did, he's not out here promoting them. He's not holding them up for an ad. It is what it is. And that's, his own personal business. He's not an athlete. It's not hindering other people gaining their rightful due in sport. It's stupid. But so that's the problem, is so many of these actors feel this pressure to get into a certain shape, to get a certain physique. We've heard Hugh Jackman talking about having to do it for Wolverine. We've heard it from so many actors. And then if they don't do it, we shame them. But if they do it, then we also shame them, and we shame how they look, and we shame their body, and we shame the process that it happened. So we just have to cut it out. Anybody can be the hero, y'all. It just is what it is. And we've talked about it with race, we've talked about it with gender, we've talked about it with sexual orientation. Anyone can be the hero of these stories. And the sooner we can just accept that, the sooner we can let people feel empowered and feel seen across the board, whether it be due to body type or whatever the case. And I just need us to, oh Lord, yes, I just need us to get to that point. Oh yeah, network. I don't know if I'm gonna be having anybody on tonight, or if it's just gonna be that conversation, like I said. Um, oh, James McAvoy is in it. Oh, see, look, but network, you didn't like that 1984 version at all. Look, you are passionate about that one. If I say a young James McAvoy stars in one of the Dune shows, oh, no. Dune Messiah. I think Dune had a perfect amount of action. Wait, yes. Somebody here on YouTube centered part of her review around Kumau and basically accusing him of using performance enhancing drugs. So it was uncalled for, and I mean honestly, it's like a slanderous behavior. I can't. So between that and then people making fun of and saying Salma Hayek's accent deterred the movie, or she wasn't Salma Hayek-y enough. I mean, that's what I'm saying with the criticisms when it comes to Dune, or not Dune, when it comes to Eternals, has been quite disturbing and disappointing. And a big reason I've taken to really trying to champion it more so than just me loving the film. Which is also the case. Yeah, these criticisms have been all over the place and a complete just mess. I don't know what's going on. Yes, it is. It is disgusting. OP. So yeah, that was another big talking point. We also got some new images from Spider-Man No Way Home. Lots of theories floating around. Make sure to go check out my friend Leo over at Geekly Goods. He's been dropping these videos. He's been going ham. About news, and he did a whole video, or he's planning a video about those Spider-Man stills and some possibilities that coming up. But we also did get confirmation that the Lizard and Sandman are reprising their roles and will be back for No Way Home. Which we knew, right? We already suspected. We had it pretty clear, especially after that first trailer and people's Nancy Drew skills watching and combing through that trailer. But yeah, so No Way Home's coming along. We still don't have confirmation of Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire. I personally don't want confirmation. I personally don't want to see them. I just want to go into that film hoping they're there and not having this. I don't know. I don't really love this whole scoop cycle. I'm just not that person. Some people, they want all these details. They really want to be in the know. They want all of it. And I'm not that person. I prefer to mostly stay away from first reactions. I like to stay away from a lot of images. I like to see the film mostly as pure as I can. I'll watch trailers, of course, but I don't even rush out to do that. But in this day and age, if you're on Twitter, you're going to see all of it. You're going to see the rumors. You're going to see the leaks. You're going to see everything. I saw that damn Eternals post credit revealed by Variety was spoiled for me, so that was not fun. Of course, I remember our fast food cinematic universe network. The Eternals backlash is that mainly from the cast diversity or something. I really have stayed away from all the Eternals. It's been a lot. OP, it's been a lot, bruh. Also, I love your little Dune guy. I'm digging it, but some to do with cast people, some to do with sexuality. The first gay character. This is a lot going on there. Doc Ock crushing Tom Holland's head. No, Tyler will not be crushing the head. He can crush the suit and throw it in the garbage. I'm cool, but Go ahead. We gotta leave little Tom Holland, my bathing. He gotta come out alive, y'all. Oh, I don't know. I just feel like it's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on. I am trying to understand. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, what is this? Um, I'm trying to see some of this. Look at, see these people on here. Sorry. Me over here getting sidetracked like nobody's business. We also got that Cowboy Bebop trailer this week. And are y'all excited for that? Are any of the OG Cowboy Bebop people particularly hyped for that? Also, the from DC Fandom, I know they showed a lot of stuff. I really didn't watch most of it. Black Adam looks sick. That's what I got out of Phantom this year. Black Adam looks sick, and that second Batman trailer was everything. You hear me? That Batman trailer. Oh my god, it got me so hyped. I didn't think anything could get me more hyped than the teaser and that full length trailer. Yes. Yes, please give it to me now. I cannot wait to watch Batman. Tyler. See, y'all need to watch this Tyler Calvert, y'all. He a damn mess in here. I heard that there's something interesting that got leaked. Oh Lord, no. OP, stay away from me, bro. I don't need to hear no interesting leaks, none of that. You hear me? People be talking about that damn black suit. They're running around telling people how it happened. No, 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 I don't want to hear it. Let me go into my little Spider-Man movie as intact as I can be. No, I am not here for that. But coming up, you'll see some reviews from Denver Film Festival. I'll probably also do a live stream somewhere in there talking about a lot of the films that I've watched at the festival. I'm most excited to see Spencer. And I'm also excited because Come On is going to be at our festival, as well as King Richard. I'm a huge Serena Williams fan, Venus too, but Serena is my jam. So I am hyped for King Richard. We have Belfast here, so I'm excited. Yeah, see, this is it. I got spoiled for the black suit and the Eternals post credit. Yeah, I got spoiled for that Eternals post credit too. And I only sort of got spoiled on the black suit. Not really. Like, I barely just like scratched the surface. So thankfully. Woo! Yeah. So, what else y'all want to talk about in here? It's been a short live. I've gotten through all the little news cycle stuff I wanted to talk about. Specifically, I did want to talk about the Army of Thieves review coming up on Netflix. I will be watching Cowboy Bebop. I think I'm going to do probably a season review first, and then you can go ahead and watch you could go ahead and watch my reactions weekly, so that'll be there. I'm so angry about the Belfast release date over here in Belfast. It's not like debuting first in Belfast. Y'all should be getting the movie first. What is happening? Guardians of the Galaxy game. Well, you can ask. I think Tyler is about to pick that up. He's in the chat there. He hasn't played it yet, but I've been seeing people post their pictures. I'm not a big gamer. I'm sorry. So I don't know too much about Guardians of the Galaxy game. But I think some folks will have lots to say about that, huh? You get it in February. I don't know. That does seem quite sketch to me. I'm excited for it though. Jamie Dornan is going to be here in Denver for that moment, so it'll be a good time. I know it's late break. So I guess to go with the shirts, the Game of Thrones prequel I am excited for. It's not if you had asked me the entirety of 2019, I would have told you, hell no, I'm not excited, because that finale absolutely killed any joy I had in my life. Infamously, I hate season 8 of Game of Thrones. But I am House Targaryen. So, I was obligated. I actually did a trailer reaction for House of the Dragon. So you can check that out too. But I'm at least a little bit more hopeful. Oh, I need to do it. I know, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I did record. I mean, I did edit those 2 dang back-to-back little movie reactions. I also did reviews this past week. Hey, but I just didn't. I didn't have it in me. I guess it's because the Eternals was on Monday, probably. But I didn't have it in me to get that thirst report up, and this was like a Timothy Chalamet doubleheader weekend. The thirst was ripe. Hello, but I mean, honestly, the French Dispatch did have some thirst material. But what are we gonna talk about? What are we going to talk about when it comes to Ron's Gone Wrong, which also underperformed at the box office? Oh, that's what I need to talk about. Is every time I come on here, we need to talk about a little bit of box office, because that is my jam. So, since we last spoke about the box office, which was for Venom: Let There Be Carnage, hello. What led to Dune getting that announcement? It opened to 41.01 million, which is a great opening, much better than most of us had anticipated. But I'm so hyped for Dune to make that kind of money. Halloween Kills opened strong, over 49 million, just about 50. But it dropped 70.8% in weekend number 2, which that's rough. We've also seen Ron's Gone Wrong open this weekend to only 7.3. That makes me sad. I think the marketing was just so bad for Ron's Gone Wrong that nobody cared to go watch it at a movie theater, so it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, if you're an animation fan, particularly, check out Ron's Gone Wrong. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it'll be a pleasant surprise for you overall. No Time to Die also opened well in the 50 range, which is solid for that. So some good openings. A huge win, the biggest Denis Villeneuve opening of all time, and the biggest opening for a film in 3 days that has opened on HBO Max and in movie theaters, which is also fantastic. That was previously held by, all the way back in, what was it, April? Godzilla vs. Kong held that record this entire time. Now, Godzilla vs. Kong did stomp Dune in opening weekend streams on HBO Max, and Mortal Kombat actually still holds the record for most opening weekend streams when it comes to HBO Max purely. So it's interesting to see, and I think it kind of reflects that, though. People were nervous about Mortal Kombat, so it did well at the box office, but they definitely wanted to watch it on that HBO Max. You hear what I'm saying? So yes. Man, I wish there's a premiere over here, because it's in Belfast. I mean, it is very strange to me. OP Talks. Welcome from Belfast. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, this is very strange. Whenever a film, honestly, I mean, I guess it's Kenneth Branagh. So what is it? Is it a UK production, or is it? I presume it's a UK production if it's Kenneth Branagh. Maybe a US production, Hollywood. But even at that, like, come on, your film is about the history in Belfast. Like, I mean, come on. I don't know. I don't get it. No Time to Die is the best film I've seen in 2021, as well as my favorite Bond movie. Wow, that is some high praise. Network 98. I did really like No Time to Die, though. So, once again, check out my Letterboxd. Follow me on Letterboxd if you're not. That's where I posted my review for that. I'm honestly not the biggest Bond person. ever, particularly those old ones. They never really grabbed me. So up until Daniel Craig's run as James Bond, I was kind of just like, okay, but I really enjoyed this. People also have problems with the pacing on this. People, I don't know. I have a feeling people just, when they go into a movie theater, if it's not like bing, bang, boom, right in your face 24/7, the entire runtime, they're like, oh, it's a slog. And it's like, okay, well, next. But I'm so sad I'm the only one um, that I know of my friends and family who cares about Dune, and at my cinema I was the only non-old person, and I guess it was predictable. Um, yeah, uh, Dune. I mean, it's got actually much. It's like an A minus cinema score. It's done. It's done well. Um, yeah, that young people won't care about a film that's story glory. Yeah, I mean it is. It is. Nolan's usually got Denis beat with those opening weekend. I mean, Nolan, the thing about Nolan specifically is that he really was a beacon for original sci-fi. He was able to get these original big blockbuster sci-fis made in the first place, and then get them into theaters, and they would open very well, and by the end of their run they were mega hits. And of course that started with Batman, his big blockbuster era, if you will, kind of started more with the Batman era, the Dark Knight trilogy, which are not original properties. But since then, he's really has been, and even last year, as misguided as it was, he has always been a champion for cinema. He's been a champion for theatrical experiences. So, although I haven't loved a Nolan film in like a decade, I've enjoyed some of them to varying degrees. But yeah, No Time to Die was your first Bond film. Oh, okay. So you were, yeah. It would definitely be confusing if you haven't watched Spectre to just jump right into No Time to Die, because it directly ties into Spectre. So, my favorite movie of the Craig era is still Skyfall. I think it is just a really contemplative, interesting tackle for James Bond. And, I love a story where the hero loses. This just is what it is. Tenet is my fourth favorite movie of all time. What? Tenet has its super fans. I'm not gonna take that away from y'all. If you love Tenet, I love it for you. Now I don't love the movie for you, but I love that for you at least. Tenet itself, mm, it's beautiful. It is a beautiful film to look at. It has its moments. It's good. Just not quite great. It was, however, Academy snubbed for Best Original Score. That period. It was snubbed for a Best Original Score nomination at the least. Not Coco, Soul should have still won that award, rightfully, but Tenet should have been nominated last year. I don't know what's going on. Is your least favorite Quantum or Spectre? Oh, easily Quantum. I think it's much worse. Spectre has its moments, particularly that opening sequence is amazing in Spectre, and then after that, it's fine. I don't think it's terrible. Oh Lord, you see what? Look at what y'all are doing. The Tenant Nation is rising up in the chat. I'm glad Hannah walked out the door before Tenant Nation could take over. Lord have mercy. No, I'm excited for Nolan's upcoming project. Of course, I mean, this is the other thing with directors in general. I need directors to start branching out just a little bit on these actors you work with. Like, here goes Nolan again. I already got Cillian Murphy back in the action. Like, bruh, okay. We see Greta Gerwig working once again with Adam Driver and with Noah Baumbach. It's like, okay. We see every time a Scorsese film comes out, where's Leonardo DiCaprio? Where's the gangster folk? Like, I need y'all to branch out a little bit, bring some new folks into the fold. We get tired of it. But I do like Cillian Murphy, and I'm excited that he'll be in like a leading role this time. So that's the other thing with Nolan. No matter what, no matter how I feel about his last project, even if I'm underwhelmed for a decade straight now by his films, it's just something about a Nolan film that becomes an event and gets me excited. So I'm always going to be excited for a new Christopher Nolan movie. Same thing with Denis Villeneuve. I don't love all of Denis' films, particularly some of those early ones, but he's been on a roll recently. I adore Blade Runner 2049. I adore Dune. I adore Prisoners. Now, hot take, I don't adore Arrival. I know the tomatoes are flying, but I'm sorry about it. That ending is too much. It's a lot of the same problems I had with Interstellar and that third act of that film, but Arrival ending is just too much. Barry's in your walls, Larry. He's hopping around to all your friends. Lord have mercy. I've got a question, Oscar prediction for the main four girls: Gaga, Jessica, Kristen, and I'm sorry for forgetting about the girl from Licorice Pizza. We'll see about Gaga. I mean, I think particularly when it comes to that new trailer, people are hyped. But that can go wrong. House of Gucci, I think, could be an awards contender, or it could turn out a bust, and maybe Gaga's the only good thing that gets awards buzz. Maybe Adam Driver, but I think Kristen Stewart is the obvious front runner though for a female right now. But then again, Jackie and Natalie Portman, it got snatched out right from under her at the end of the game, and we thought she was on the road. So, but right now it's Kristen Stewart all the way to win that one, I think. Jessica, we'll see too. I think she's a little bit rocky. I don't know if she's going to get in. And Licorice Pizza, we'll also see on that too. Paul Thomas Anderson, he goes up and down on his awards prospect, particularly. What do you think will take costume design? If I were to pick, my costume design winner would still be Cruella. And right now, I think Cruella has a good shot at still taking best costume design, honestly. I think Dune, obviously, is very much in the running. A lot of people didn't watch it. It's never going to get nominated, but honestly, Coming to America, the sequel that came out early in this year, deserves a costume design nomination as well as a hair and makeup nomination. They were fantastic. I think Dune's probably, well, the thing with Dune is it's not fantasy looking enough. So I think maybe that'll help it, because recently the Academy has really gone away from awarding like fantastical costume designs for a lot more period piece and more fashion. I don't know. I don't know how you pick anything but Cruella. Like, if you're voting, yes, the costumes in Dune were beautiful, but those costumes in Cruella, I mean, honestly, they're a different level still. Like, they're just a different level. So we'll see. Maybe Spencer. I haven't seen it yet, but I think Spencer will probably do well in getting a costume design nomination. About women who are fashion. Yeah, I mean, much like speaking of him, after we just talked about Licorice Pizza, much like Phantom Thread, there comes a point where it's like your entire film is about fashion and about the costume design. So hopefully, I hope they. I know people get mad because it's Disney and the Mouse House dominates everything, blah blah blah. But the costume designer showed up and showed out for Cruella, y'all. Right now, if I were to go like best original score, honestly, my favorite original score is probably Dune. I loved it. So Hans Zimmer supremacy continues to reign. Lead actor, I think the most buzz I've heard at least is Will Smith for King Richard, so I guess we'll see there. But yeah, so Oscars are right around the corner. I don't do a whole lot of super early predicting for Oscars, but we are finally there. I think I'll have a better ground and a better feel of what I'm looking at come Oscar season after the Denver Film Festival, because I'll have seen a lot more of these. Jamie Dornan, I know, is another favorite. I think probably his Will Smith's big competition so far is Jamie Dornan for Belfast. Um, but again, I'll see both of those. I'll see a lot of these, so we'll see. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. But I think it's Will Smith and Jamie Dornan. Their supporting categories. The tough part about supporting is we don't know where are people going to go. Like the category fraud is for real, so we'll see who gets slotted down to supporting. If I think Dune is right now the lock for me for best visual effects, because nothing has looked like that at all this year to date. Best picture. For best picture, I'm thinking Spencer, possibly King Richard. I think King Richard could put in that like Ford v Ferrari slot where it's just kind of a feel good type of movie that people enjoy and want to show some love to, in addition to Will Smith. So I do think King Richard could get in there. Belfast has a lot of hype, has a lot of momentum about it right now. I don't know if Dune can do it. I would be really excited. I also think Dune should be heavily in the director race, because it was so beautifully directed. But again, the problem with Dune is a huge bias genre bias against it that it has to overcome. Yeah, come on. I'm also seeing that at the Denver Film Festival has a ton of buzz. Joaquin, I don't know if he probably will be in contention to get nominated, but especially since he won so recently and he won for such a divisive film in Joker, I don't really see him upsetting Will Smith or Jamie Dornan, but I could definitely see it. I could see Come On pushing, but I could also see that one falling into the like category of folks who love it and champion it so hard, but it never gets there. It's one of those indies. I feel like The Green Knight is going to fall into that, unfortunately. Honestly, if The Green Knight doesn't get a damn cinematography nomination, though, I will flip my lid. Because right there with probably Dune and honestly Eternals, it's like those three, Green Knight, Dune, Eternals, have like the most beautiful cinematography I've seen in 2021 so far. So I would love to see that also be in contention for costume design, honestly. um I love I would put Green Knight in adapted screenplay as well. Like, I think it deserves everything, but we'll see. I unfortunately think A24, yeah, they had Moonlight, but they're not the best at getting their films to the award season. They're not one of those power studios who really can do it. So we'll see. A bit off topic, but what about The Last Duel's box office numbers and how it is said to have flopped? So The Last Duel performed probably about as well as I would have anticipated. I mean, it looks like a slow burn drama, with an all-star cast, but an all-star cast that is a little bit older, not really older or too new, like Jodie Comer. So it performed around what I would have expected. Ridley Scott is also not the household name he used to be, particularly when it comes to getting people to watch his films. However, I did not realize it cost $100 million to make. That's the problem. You can't open to 6 million when your film cost $100 million to make. There is no way it's ever making that money. Never is it going to even reach $100 million in its worldwide box office gross. So that's why it's a flop. And unfortunately, it's pretty undeniably a flop, because I'll be shocked if it even gets to half of what it costs to make. So he really needs that Gaga feature. He really needs Gucci to go in, because Ridley Scott, Last Duel, that's another one that could get a costume design nomination. I think probably production design as well. I would love to see Jodie Comer get into the conversation for that film, because she's really the best thing in that movie for me. I do think Ben Affleck is really strong, honestly, too. Best animated feature. Well, if they snub Mitchell's vs. Machines, I'm rioting in the streets. So let's just start off with that. I think Mitchell's is still the strongest animated film for me personally this year, but I think it'll be Mitchell's vs. the Machines. I think Raya will find its way in. Luca, do I think? I think Luca is. I think it's pleasing enough and it's Pixar that it would be a shock if Luca wasn't able to, you know, navigate its way into the field there. Probably Encanto, I would say. I would imagine. Oh, yeah, there you go, network. Thank you. Flea. I was like, we have to have more of an indie. Honestly, I'm excited. I'm seeing Flea at the Denver Film Festival as well. I am so hyped to see Flea. I'm also hoping, obviously, that performs well at the documentary section. And wouldn't it be cool if it could actually break through for Best Picture? It's got so much hype behind it right now. To have a documentary and an animated film make it into the Best Picture field would be phenomenal. So I hope Flea is able to carry that momentum. Plus, it is new. It's something different. We don't have animated documentaries, so I think it is a lock probably for both of those categories. We'll see. Kanto might take soundtrack or original song, possibly. Will he be competing against himself? Actually, I don't know if Tick Tick Boom has a lot of original songs or not. We'll see. There's also that one. Oh god, what is it? No, I'm blanking. It's also going to Netflix. From the guy from The Big Short, Adam K. Maybe, but that one is already getting some stuff. Also, a shout out to Viola Davis. She is releasing her book and she will be doing the audiobook. So, EGOT, can she finally win that Grammy and complete her EGOT? I hope so. I'm just going to put out there. Give Viola the damn Grammy. Period. Because I need her to have this EGOT already. Yeah, Tick Tick Boom looks great. So yeah, I think that about covers it. We've been on here for about an hour. I do have another reaction to record with Tyler tonight, which we'll be getting to here shortly. I do really appreciate you all, OP Talks and Network 98. Huge shout out for sticking around all the way through this live stream. I really appreciate the support towards these lives in general. I hope you all enjoy these little live discussions when they pop up and they happen. I hope you all are enjoying the reactions I'm doing in addition to any sort of reviews. Yeah, we're almost at the end of 2021. So I guess we shall see. What about In the Heights? In the Heights, I think only had one original song and it played over those credits. And then it's one of the weaker songs on the whole soundtrack, to be honest. So I don't know about if In the Heights can do that. The score is good. It also has beautiful cinematography, but I don't know that it has it in it to make it to the Oscars. So yeah, but thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I look forward to hearing all of your thoughts as you get to watch Last Night in Soho, Antlers, whatever else, The French Dispatch, if it's finally opening near you. Make sure to hit me up. Leave it in the comment section down below. You can check out my French Dispatch review, or definitely hit me up on Twitter. I want to talk about these movies with y'all. I want to talk about film. I also would love to see In the Heights get a Best Pick nom, though I don't think it's going to happen. But I love you all so much for your continued support. I will see you next time, and that's it. Thanks for chilling with ChillyBoy. Bye.